Breaking news, we go to the Channel 7 Action News helicopter to see another toy review in progress as we speak. This is Revenge of the Fallen Blazemaster, a toy that comes ever so close to being a Plastic Addict victim. This one mode is what saves him from that, though just barely. Now, Revenge of the Fallen gave us a lot of leeway when it came to alternate modes. Usually, these kinds of helicopters are seen either as rescue vehicles or, well, just rescue vehicles when it's this type of helicopter. A newscopter, on the other hand, that's a little strange. That's a little bit different. You can see Channel 7 Action News and 7 News right here on the tail fin. It's a nice little touch. It definitely brings a strange attitude to this toy. Though for a toy called Blazemaster, I really don't see where you get that name from. Okay, I really like the color scheme on this thing too. You've got a lot of gold here. No, this isn't the kind of gold plastic that's going to crumble on you inside of a few years. Or maybe it is. It does have some of those infamous swirls in the plastic. Ah, Hasbro, please don't tell me you've given us another dud. But overall, the paint scheme works pretty well. The dark blue and the gold go well together. The nice white tail fin to set it apart. And like I said, the deco is nice, especially with how panely this gets to keep all the letters together. Nice job on Hasbro's part. Though this is a really, really panely vehicle mode, and even in the tail, as you can see a ton of little joints and hinges. A little upsetting. Little gaps there too, where you can even see robot guts on the inside. What kind of irks me a little bit is this seems like it was supposed to be gold, because everything around it was painted gold too. It kind of breaks the color scheme a little bit, which is unfortunate. I really wish it had matched. Here we have a blue cockpit where you can actually see Blazemaster's head inside there. It's always kind of creepy when they do that. And the Transformer's driving itself, man. You've also got one little thing. I don't know how accurate this is, but look, you've got these little tail lights here. If I can move the blades so you can see it. One white and one red. I don't know helicopters, so I don't know if that's accurate or not. I know that looking this way, it's kind of the opposite. Here you can see all four if I turn it this way. I don't know if they're all supposed to match, if they are supposed to be that way. It really confuses me. That's such a random little detail, I'm going to assume it's accurate, and just leave it at that. You've got one gimmick in this mode, which is, of course, the rotor, which is a nice, quiet little rotor. And if you've ever owned Armada Cyclonus, you know how loud these deluxes can be with those. They've really improved those in recent years, so I'm glad to see that. Well, that makes it rather forgivable. It's a nice little gimmick. I also got this little thing. I'm not quite sure what this is, but yeah, it gives it a little bit more detail. That's pretty much it. You got landing gear. That is adjustable. What I do like is that even on the underside, if it weren't for all the panel lines, you probably couldn't tell this is a Transformer on first glance. I mean, not a lot of the robot is showing at all in this vehicle, which is a definite plus. And that's probably the last plus that I'm going to bring up, because now we move on to robot mode. On to robot mode, and the compliments have ended. I have officially reached the point where I am sick of this toy. Because, let me tell you, it was a good 20 minutes between vehicle mode recording and this particular video you're watching now. Because it took me that long to transform the frickin' thing. It is pointlessly complex. I mean, there's no reason it needs to be that hard to transform. And what we get for it, I'm not really quite sure, to be honest with you. Okay, let's take a look at detailing here for a second. It's mostly comprised of little chopped up bits of the vehicle mode, so there's not a whole lot of new detail to show you. I can show you the head, which is rather creepy for an Autobot, but it looks kind of cool. The light piping dark blue, so he has dead eyes. Sucks. And really the shoulders are pretty much the only thing exposed. Oh, and the fingers to fold out. Yeah, that's thrilling, isn't it? This thing is unspeakable. Okay, let me get my problems out of the way first. Like I said, transformation pointlessly complicated. Then there are these things. Now, this one just kind of dangles there, and it tends to fall off. This one is held on with nothing but friction, tends to fall off. So, forget both of them. They both suck. And it looks better without them, though that's not saying much. Articulation-wise, you've got swivels here, and you've got a pretty stiff knee, though it is a little bit hindered. I'm not quite sure how. And you have the double knee joints that Revenge of the Fallen is known for, along with ball-jointed ankles and very tiny feet. This makes him quite difficult to stand because he doesn't have much of a base for balance. This is particularly precarious if you're like me and you like to display these on shelves. It's very difficult to actually give him his own little spot. And I really don't like this double knee chicken leg thing. You see, in nature, when an animal needs to be nimble and it still has a pretty heavy upper body, it has these double jointed knees to support its body and still move quickly. For a toy like Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, where he's very top heavy, this makes sense. Here it's absolutely pointless, and it just goes to make the toy more complicated than it needs to be. If this thing was straight-legged and I only had one joint to deal with in order to actually get it to stand straight, that would be fine. Here I have 3. Pointless. Frustrating as hell to boot. Okay, aside from that, you've got shoulders, which are quite hindered, not only because of all this kibble on his back, and all the kibble here in the front, but also because the way the ball joint is crafted, they don't move forward all that much. You've got elbows that work okay, but look at the arms. I mean, it's nothing but it's the same as the first movie line's Jazz toy. It's just 2 panels folded together. They don't look like arms. I mean, they just look like he's swinging pieces of helicopter kibble around. Does not look good in the least. Okay, and I mentioned kibble here on the back. A lot of little posing options. You can position these a lot of ways. Pretty much every way, however, is going to get in the way of articulation. And really, there's no spot where they lock in. So I'm never quite sure where I'm supposed to stop transforming this. I mean, like, you've got pieces like this that fold out this way, but they like spring snap right back into place. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, that's the part that gets in the way the most if I'm trying to move the arms. And here's my biggest issue. This section. This does not lock in at all. Both of these parts, very flimsy, loose. They just kind of dangle there and get thrown around a lot. And this piece in his chest, it separates. But for no apparent reason. I have yet to figure out. I mean, it barely opens. Just barely. And it doesn't add anything visually. It makes it look worse, actually. I mean, it's like they had an idea and then they dropped it. I mean, it's... I'm getting really agitated here. Maybe this should have been a Plastic Addict toy. This is absolutely horrid. This toy embodies everything I do not like about the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. Small feet, so it's hard to balance, pointless aesthetic choices, and pointlessly complex transformations that serve absolutely no reason. It's complexity just for the sake of being complex, and it makes the toy terrible. I mean, if you're a fan of little quirky designs, please, please find something else. This is not it. You're most likely to find Evac on the shelves these days. He's not going to be any better. He'll have the same issues that this thing does, plus probably a little bit of mold degradation. I personally am not going to buy one to figure it out. So, yeah, this is right up there with the Deluxe Mud Flap toy as being one of my most hated Revenge of the Fallen toys. And it's engineering is nice, but it serves absolutely no point and produces no good results. You know, after this, I think I need a break from Transformers just for one day. So next time, how about we go Kamen Rider? And we'll review an American Kamen Rider toy. How rare is that?